scenario. Starting off Pro-Am 0-2 would be not on the bingo card, to say the least, although a contender's win would be appreciated by the community too, but Shock can also end this out in style after some kind of uncharacteristic mispositions there on Hollywood.
军费停止。
Yeah, a couple of uncharacteristic plays, and you know what? Trick Room, credit to them, they came out with some surprise punches. They got a couple sucker punches in, but now San Francisco Shock, I believe this pick is enough shenanigans, enough mischief, enough goofiness. We're gonna bring out the proper Sojourn, and you are going to bow to the masters. The question is, what kind of tank line do they play with this, and how does the dynamic evolve here? Max is still in, so I'm somewhat expecting to see maybe the Ramatra. In order to just give Proper a little bit more room to work with, but also how do you create the angles for Proper to try and take advantage of? Because as we saw previously from the Proper Sojourn, San Francisco Shock do have occasionally they make an ego dive, let's put it that way. They're like, we're good enough to just run in there and mechanics this, so why don't we just run in?
Well, at least there's some tape out there about what contenders of Trick Room Lamau have run before, and they went on this map against the Saints in the grand final. They ended up losing, but the composition that they had preferred, and this is their choice of map, or a Shock's choice of map, is that Infected and Friends really liked the May Brawl at the time, but since it didn't go so well, I think it was like 110 meters to 60, Trick Room have to dive deep into their strategy book. I like the ham and dive much better.
Okay, once again, we're talking about poke here from San Francisco Shock, making sure Trick Room can't make an engagement happen with full HP. That's a win condition, because if you can manage to poke them down, then Max will slow them with the E. And of course, control of the bot here is going to be much easier for Max.
Just an initial pile drive, a Shock take cover in the corridor, as Bo maybe wanted to get in there, up close and personal, just gets rando picked. And you just got to be so careful how you engage into the Shock if they're going to be stacked up like this. Random poke, it's going to get you, as Shock will get some initial push in.
Amazing use of the alcove as well. The right angle that leads into where the mini pack is allows you to easily avoid Infected's engage by utilizing the corner for cover. And this means that Max has a good amount of safety to work with. Oh, that's bad. That's very bad. 3 people just rolled in onto Heesang and took him out. Now your off-angle control is absolutely cooked.
Oh, and Vindime got hunted down by a Lucio of all things. Like, the fact that Magic Maypal is assisting Boat's rotations in there was pretty clean. And Shock didn't know who to focus on. They were getting attacked from all angles. Either way, Shock got 25 meters, and yeah, losing Heesang early, definitely not ideal.
Trick Room now have unlocked a secret though. If they can exploit opportunities of Heesang being out of support LOS, trying to scout for Boat, they can actually spring a very quick 3v1 on him by having a Sombra uncloak and have your Kiriko TP in. And if you can 3v1 Heesang, then you can set up a fantastic fight afterwards with full control of off angles.
Yeah, good Suzu just to make sure Proper's okay during the Infected dive. Mines laid just right near the bot, just to buy some space there, maybe disrupt what Shock are up to, and the hack and the assassination on the Heesang as Trick Room are up in this fight, but they got a bigger problem. It's the annihilation of Max. He has to stay within range of somebody to benefit from it, so that quickly went away.
Yeah, excellent split there from Trick Room, just deciding, you know what, no, don't want to deal with this today. 10 HP from both, but still Proper dies.
That's a good start for Trick Room. We still have EMP. Pulse Bomb finishes off Vindime. And with this, missing a lot of heals, I think Finn should be able to pull through if he can still stay alive. Just not being the case, not in contact with the rest of his team. So Shock will lose control of the bot as Trick Room want to match the score.
Cars, outdated. Planes, overrated. Long have we waited. The boats have been activated and we're sailing on a sea of some excellent off-angle control here. We keep talking about it because it's just so important. Nice EMP. Good Suzuki gets Proper alive.
And Nano onto Max to just hunt down these mobile heroes of Trick Room, but just having a hard time knowing who to bully and just being in range of somebody. As the counter dive started while Max was searching for targets, and Infected pounced on Finn. And I think Vindime is next. He's hacked up, and Pummy is just harassing them. the bot got escorted forward too by the Shock, so despite their backline being in trouble, the front just is trucking along.
They are indeed just trucking along. And Max here might be able to get some good peel. Soon going to run out of the... Oh, what beautiful play. Vindime might save himself.
Yeah, Max, I like the diva, like I've mentioned already on Hollywood, just having so much mobility to chase people down, but locking people down is a whole other scenario. Infected just pile drives the back. Kitsune rush from Finn. Isn't enough firepower to get picks on the Trick Room, though. Shock still looking for anything, and Heesang gets picked yet again, and Proper is next. The coordination from Trick Room's dives is disgusting. They're one of the favorite Hammond teams coming out of contenders, and they're proving us right.
And honestly, they are one of the favorite Hammond teams coming out of the Pro-Am, but where they really shone as well was being able to win in those Reinhardt and Ramasha mirrors. I am so surprised that in a Tracer versus Tracer kind of matchup with the Wrecking Ball that you described them as being so famous for, they're able to keep track of Heesang, a multiple-time Contenders career champion, with flying colors. They get the lead and they simply leave. Now they can set up their own dive onto Proper, forcing out so much. Vasuzu was used there too.
Oh, you force the position of Proper, you land the EMP after, and Trick Room follow up perfectly with each other. Besides losing Pummy, who just couldn't translocate back, and a self-destruct, I doubt you. Okay, he gets back in the mech, and now you're just giving more ult charge, and Max might be staggering himself even more, not having the range to get back to his staircase, and you hope that Finn is not going to teleport to Max. Just now, Max is able to conserve the mech, so that was gonna be a problem if he didn't. And Trick Room have taken now a sizable lead, and they're looking to get that second checkpoint.
Nice eat there from Max. They'll at least get rid of one major threat, but still Heesang needs to be accounted for here. Boats all on top of the Sombra, and Magic Makeballs come in as well. The coordination is sublime, Lemon, and now Vindame's gone too.
And Vindime just nanoed Max there, who wasn't able to make a big splash. It's Max just playing cat and mouse, but that mouse is in nitro mode. You just cannot catch up to anything that Trick Room. Mega Mouse. Now there's the Kitsune rushes from both sides. Bridge control given up. Back to the cart we go. Trick Room are only down by one, and now no supports at all. Proper is on the hero we know and love. And man, does he look good on it. And at the moment, they needed to the most, especially because Trick Room with almost the checkpoint and 60 meters plus, that was going to start getting out of hand.
It was incredibly important, exactly, Lemon, to deny that forward spawn in particular. Trick Room, they have to wait for boat to respawn before they can effectively stage a dive. The rest of this is going to be about what we saw on Proper earlier, getting rid of the positions where Proper wants to play and trying to lay some groundwork for the dives, just like this.
EMP. Shock seem okay for now, though, as Pummy has to translocate out. Meanwhile, Heesang is dealing with Infected. Looks like Pummy's in a duel. Just everyone from Trick Room is taking trickle damage, and Shock just can't get any finishing blows, but they are getting progress. They've lost, Trick Room have lost boat as Shock head for the bridge to see if they can axe Mateball to remove his ability to use the sound barrier, as Trick Room are now getting staggered, and they're at the back of their spawn room doors, and Shock are pretty close to tying things up.
Yeah, we're seeing slight panics here from Trick Room at the moment. Nice EMP to try and secure the lead, and I think it's going to work out.
For now, though, but Magic Mateball uses sound barrier, so Trick Room seem healthy. They got presence on the card. Max is about to get DMAC too. Actually conserves it, uses the self-destruct. And he's able to randomly catch boat too. Just did not see that coming. Might have thought the bomb was going to go on top of the bridge. And officially, Shock have taken the lead.
Sky High Bomb right there, yeah. Gets a fast one on boat who never saw it coming down from the sky. San Francisco Shock, every meter after this is a bonus. A quick engagement in their interest.
Sound barrier from Vindime wasn't enough to save Max, but isn't enough for Shock to get the trading blows. Proper is doing his best to hunt down Hanbei, who teleports to Infected, and Proper still breaks all of their ankles and removes both supports, I believe. But it's not enough. Trick Room still have 3 alive, but Shock have the lead, so it's fine.
我睡着了，刚刚晕。
What do the LA Gladiators have to do with this series, huh? The from Finn here is going to be super important. I want to see it used in response to a fully committed dive from Trick Room where they cannot disengage. Force them to fight in the Kitsune rush because that's where Max is going to have the advantage due to the immense rate of fire of Edema.
差点自己就玩了。
From Pummy, Shock just fall apart, but
卢笑补的还不
be
错。
okay just giving up this fight as long as Trick Room use ultimates to do so. So you don't
为他们正面直接一拳打在面门上。
As Trick Room advance with a minute and 8 left.
不会吧，这都是第一个。1分钟的时间，这 TR 还这么多技能，3个大，阵痛也不少啊。这一波阵痛掉技能，别把点位放掉，然后下一波拿技能直接打赢一波结束了。
Kitsune rush from Hanbei.
黑在哪儿呢？黑在哪儿呢？前点 ，Max 机甲直接拆了，被拆了，自己也是队友卢笑死了已经。哎，
doing his best to match what Proper has been able to do thus far, and the synergy of Trick Room is what really paid off at the end.
哎，不真输了吧
？To the checkpoint, they're 0.2 meters away from taking the lead. And the Riz Academy boys of Trick Room, yes, that was their
15秒时间，还有继续返场的。
Not just complimenting them. They've now officially taken the lead with 12 seconds left. Gets the MVP.
啊，直接摁秒一个。
And yeah, the supports of Trick Room under a lot of
被
fire.
黑。
Shock have to fight their way
赢了，
all
赢了，
the
赢了，
way
赢了。
back to scoop this past. And at least Shock will give themselves a chance. It is
哎，不一定啊，还要再推一节。
fights to go.
Enough games, yeah, 2 fights in a row I think here with Trick Room all getting forward spawns. So this first one is going to be a pretty quick engage. What you want to do is try and force San Francisco Shock to use as many ults as possible to win this fight out. But at the same time, you're risking Heatsan getting access to that EMP. So Pummy is going to have to be the one to make a judgment call. He's
阵痛的这么多技能要规划着打，
in this fight.
不能一股脑全丢了。
This is the fight to win or lose them all.
营长被打断了。
Boat is hacked. And Vindime's barrier doesn't get pulled off. The self-destruct Max is able to get back into mech, but there's no supports to help him. The Shock have been decimated. Trick Room pull off an upset of a lifetime, and the first contenders win on broadcast and in the Pro-Am happens against one of the best teams. What a map 3 by Trick Room.
The first contenders team that we saw, and they've defeated the San Francisco Shock. You called them Riz Academy. When we over here, I'm going to call them Riz Graduates because maybe I'm swooning. Absolutely beautiful play. The Ajax on Vindime as well.
这也太……他最后那个营长被打断了。
Good calculation from Trick Room. If we force this in using the barrier, they know that they can't disengage from the bot. So what they have to do is they have to stay there, and they have to stay there by using their own sound barrier. So they pre-aim Vindame and take him out during the cast. Absolutely sublime.
Wow, I know Twitter's gonna be on fire today. Everyone's been cheering for the underdogs of Trick Room, it feels like, because, you know, when you're just on top for so long.
我刚刚他妈晕了一段时间，起来发现好像已经杆了。
A lot of fans had high expectations for them, and to start the day off 0-2 is insane. And you could maybe blame Bad Pachibari for something prediction. Maybe he cursed it. It's the only thing that can explain this, right? But a big congratulations to Trick Room. Like I said at the start of the series, it was about how no one had big expectations for them, even coming into the Pro-Am qualifiers. And they were runner-ups behind the Saints. And now with this win over Shock,
估计也没有办法吧，我觉得。算了，先不说。
They definitely have potential to make it out of this group, and Shock's potential to make it out of this group themselves is heavily in question. The best that they can do right now is going to be a 2-2, and who knows if that's going to be enough in such a stacked group.
Well, Junbin, who? Because your player of the match is one of the most hyped up Hammons coming into the Pro-Am. Your player of the match is Infected, where it started off with a lot of Reinhardt, and man, he suffered a bit on Antarctica, not gonna lie, but they found some success on some level as one of the easier brawl maps to go, and he truly shined when they went to their map pick of Hollywood, I believe, and dominated the high ground. His survivability was unmatched, and the way that they coordinated around him. We said Riz Academy because a lot of these players came from that team and have been together for a while, and you saw the coordination behind Infected. the most scuffed picture I could find on Google, guys. But his presence was known on the field, and I was a big fan of his play.
Big 240p chat. In fact, he's also one of the youngest players that we have in contenders as well. I think he's 15, 16, maybe 17. It's been a while since we've cast Infected, but he's been playing essentially since he was a fetus. I think that he was practically a zygote when we first cast him, Lemon, all those years ago, and well, he has matured super well. However, the analytical takes on this series maybe haven't matured as well, and we're gonna have our desk's take on it after a break.
绝子，哥们儿怎么想也没想到是这一个队被杆了。